Hello and good evening, folks. Thank you for joining us for the news at 10. I'm Dustin Kleeman in for Richard and Karina tonight. Our top story, the upcoming closure of California's last power plant, Diablo Canyon, means the utility owners must figure out a plan to dispose of the plant's nuclear waste. KSBY News reporter Asia Gore listened in on that panel on the issue tonight in San Luis Obispo and joins us live from the County Government Center with more. Asia.
Well, Dustin, one of the statements made tonight at the meeting was that it's not a disaster waiting to happen tomorrow, but it could. And that really set the tone for tonight's discussion about the waste at Diablo Canyon and what's going to happen with it. Members of the panel, as well as the managers of the utility, want to set a timely and safe way to dispose of that waste.
Transferring used fuel from the pools to dry storage begins with a 15-foot-tall stainless steel alloy storage canister.
The decommissioning of Diablo Canyon power plant slated for 2024, forcing utility managers to consider how and when to dispose of dangerous nuclear waste currently stored on site.
As long as that spent fuel is on that site, either in the pools, in the casks, as long as there's a lot of radioactivity on that site, there's a risk.
The waste, stored for decades, presents a serious safety risk, one that cannot be mitigated in days, but rather years.
Things happen that we don't anticipate, even though the possibility is very tiny.
Monday marked the 8-year anniversary of the Fukushima Daiichi power plant disaster, which released radioactive material into the ground, air, and water after a tsunami crashed down.
I'm originally from Japan, so I know firsthand what's been going on there after the Fukushima disaster. One thing I can say is, you know, that was not expected. No one expects these things to happen. You just don't know.
People like Carol Hisasu want more local politicians and community members to take an active role in the decommissioning meetings.
It's also about us. We need to stay engaged and we need to stay involved.
Dr. Robert Budnitz, hired out of Berkeley to analyze the risk and suggest a solution, says federal law stipulates a 5-year cool-down period for spent fuel before it can be moved. If the plant resumes operations up until the deadline to decommission, that means the youngest spent fuel must be stored until 2030. And the biggest risks identified tonight include corrosion caused by salty seawater in the air, as well as an earthquake or even a terrorist attack, also a power outage. Now, the analysts said that each of those risks is unlikely, but the panel pointed out that any lapse in diligence could spell disaster. Live in San Luis Obispo, I'm Asia Gore, KSBY News.
There'll be more on that. Thank you, Asia. Another major issue tied to the plant's closure is the economic impact to San Luis Obispo County. That issue will be discussed this year.